Hello, I'm Learning Community Facilitator Natalie Sweet, and today I'll be discussing the differences between primary, secondary, and tertiary sources. You've likely heard these terms used in your history classes, probably in relation to documents that you are supposed to analyze for learning comprehension or for your final project. So, how do you tell these types of sources apart? Remember, the designations primary, secondary, and tertiary represent degrees of separation. A primary source is a first-hand source. It can be a letter, a speech, a diary, or another item that comes directly from someone who lived through a historical event. These sources were created within the historical moment. A secondary source inserts another degree of separation. For example, a scholar might read a primary source letter and then write an article based on evidence from that letter and other primary sources. It is 2 degrees separated from the event because it is a scholar's original interpretation of the primary sources. A tertiary source is 3 degrees removed. It might be a documentary or an encyclopedia article, for example. Tertiary sources synthesize information from secondary sources and are often not peer-reviewed. The thoughts contained within these sources are not original. They summarize the work of others. As such, these sources should be avoided as scholarly sources within your history class. The following are some concrete examples of primary, secondary, and tertiary sources that are tied to my own work. In 2012, I published an article on the life of William Slade, an usher to Abraham Lincoln, in the Journal of the Abraham Lincoln Association. For a few of my primary sources, I accessed the papers of Frederick Douglass at the Library of Congress. Slade was in correspondence with Douglass, and his letters are digitized at the Library of Congress, making my access to those primary sources easy. The secondary source that I produced was titled A Representative of Our People, the Agency of William Slade, Leader in the African American Community, and Usher to Abraham Lincoln. It was published in a peer-reviewed journal, meaning that other scholars on the life of Lincoln double-checked my work, and this makes it a scholarly source that could be safely cited in your coursework. One tertiary source that cites my work is Wikipedia. Beware of citing Wikipedia within your classes. While in this case the Wikipedia entry accurately summarizes the contents of my article, anyone can edit this entry and it is not peer-reviewed by other scholars. As such, while it might lead you to my secondary source article, you would want to avoid using this website as a source in any paper or discussion board post that you might write about William Slade. If you have any questions after watching this presentation, visit the SNHU Connect Exploring History Learning community. There, you can join a discussion with your fellow classmates and access other resources related to your history classes. Until then, I am Learning Community Facilitator Natalie Sweet, and thank you for listening.